Success in war entails the intimate cooperation of all arms and services. Little publicized is the need for logistic support to keep small arms weapons fighting, to keep men fed, to keep vehicles refueled, and defence stores dumped as and when required. This is but a sample of the many tasks carried out by the 1st Australian Logistics Support Group, 1ALSG, located at Vung Tau, which supports the 1st Australian Task 1 ATF, which operates in Phuoc Tuy province and others. In June 1966, units of 1ALSG moved from Australia into a desolate area of scrub-covered sandhills on the Vung Tau Peninsula, from where they were to set up, develop and provide logistic support for the 1 ATF base at Pat, 20 miles away. There was a lot of work to be done to make a logistic base area. Sand hills had to be shifted to other parts of the area to provide level sites for working areas. Plant and equipment worked around the clock. Initially, the heavy plant was provided by an American engineer company. Typical of the swamp and stagnant water areas which had to be filled. A rising water table in the area caused this problem. It required a further 5 feet of fill. The ordnance depot was filled to an average depth of 10 feet with hard standing materials. The initial development of the camp was carried out using the air portable scales of those units comprising the support group, as can be seen in these scenes. Now, in 1968, most of the problems are left behind. When construction materials from the United States became available in early 1967, construction of permanent buildings was begun. The scene now is one of permanence. Some prefabricated hutting was sent from Australia, but the bulk of the construction materials has been shipped to South Vietnam from the USA, as it was not possible to obtain materials locally. The build-up of Allied forces posed severe logistic problems. Instead of valuable and essential stores being stored under temporary shelters, they are now housed in durable buildings. Working and living conditions have been made as tolerable as is possible. The base is not yet complete, and planning and construction continues. Much of the building is carried out by local South Vietnamese contractors, but the more complex tasks are carried out by engineers of the construction squadron. Field workshops, among their many commitments, repair watercraft engines, radio equipment and vehicles. The bulk of the ordnance stores and supplies come from Australia. They are transported by cargo ship. A DeLong-type pier, built by the United States Army, provides a suitable berth for loading onto the pier and then onto semi-trailers. The average time taken to unload 3,500 to 4,000 tons of stores from the Jerparit is 3 days. From the pier, the loaded semi-trailers pass through the town of Vung Tau to the 1 ALSG area, where the stores are sorted and stacked for subsequent issue. Major units move from Australia to South Vietnam in HMAS Sydney. One method of disembarking the troops is by LCM. Baggage and unit stores are offloaded over the side of the ship onto barges, thence to the pier at Vung Tau. When helicopters are available, the relieved unit is flown in Chinook helicopters from Nui Dat direct to HMAS. The relieving unit board the incoming helicopters and fly direct to the task force base. Heavy items are taken off the deck of HMAS Sydney by Skycrane helicopters when these are available. The turnaround of HMAS Sydney in Vietnam has been accomplished in 5 hours. In the task force area at Nui Dat, maintenance demands are received each day from units and are coordinated at task force headquarters. The approved daily demand is signalled to 1 ALSG every morning. On receipt at 1 ALSG of the consolidated 1 ATF demand, a conference is called to coordinate the resupply for the following day. Supplies are moved forward using all available means. Following the conference, the task of meeting the demands is begun. The advanced ordnance depot, from which the majority of the demands will be met, covers 41 acres of the base area. In the depot, holdings are checked against demand. In Vietnam, automatic data processing plays a vital role in keeping track of the 35,000 line items and 275 vehicle stock held by the Ordnance Depot. When it has been verified that the stores are available, the demand voucher goes to the warehouse where the stores are located and packed. In addition to the 2,000 troops in 1SG, more than 400 South Vietnamese are employed in clerical, labouring and other tasks. When packed, the stores are moved into the traffic shed for consolidation into vehicle loads. Engineer stores account for about 25% of the task force average maintenance requirement of 80.5 pounds per man per day. In addition to carrying 90 days' stock of fast-moving items, the engineer workshop and park squadron carries a theatre reserve and a force pool of engineering equipment. Also included in its holdings is a repair pool of engineering equipment and 12-month supply of repair parts for essential equipment. While the stores are being assembled for dispatch, planning for the forward movement of the stores is carried out. Convoy orders are worked out and promulgated. Drivers are carefully briefed the prior afternoon. There is no certainty that the convoy will not be ambushed. Three methods of supplying the task force are used: by road, inland waterway and air. Of these methods, road movement accounts for more than 95% of the daily maintenance. 2 convoys are dispatched daily, each being divided into packets of 6 to 8 vehicles. A limiting factor to road movement is the capacity of the bridges en route to the task force. Many of the bridges will not support heavy vehicles such as loaded petrol tanks, and these, together with other heavy loads for Allied use, are moved by LSMs up inland waterways to a point on the route clear of the limiting bridges. Road convoys maintain radio contact with the LSMs. The LSM discharges its heavy truck cargo, which joins the road convoy for the remainder of the journey to the task force at Nui Dat or other locations. To some parts of the operational area, road supply is not feasible, and air means must be used. Stores are prepared for movement by the Air Dispatch Company in appropriate loads for the type of helicopter being used. Resupply helicopters are made available from aviation units of the United States Army. All traffic is not one way, and from the operational area, casualties are evacuated by helicopters known in Vietnam as dust-off. Casualties arrive at the 1st Australian Field Hospital landing pad in the 1 ALSG area and are immediately in the hands of skilled surgeons in the operating theatre. After post-operative treatment in the intensive care ward, patients are moved to one of the general wards. Australian and New Zealand Red Cross staff assist in the welfare of the troop. On discharge and before a soldier returns to his unit, there is usually the opportunity for him to have a few days' rest at the Rest and Recreation Centre. There are also facilities in the 1 ALSG area for sub-units of the task force to spend some days away from the operational base. The Amenities and Welfare Unit administers the Badcoe Club, and the excellent beach nearby provides scope for...